Now, I don't know if you actually saw that or not, but what I was trying to do was show you that I was starting off with 80 grit. Now, I'm going to have to be pretty careful, especially when I'm sanding the edges if I've got 80 grit on there, because it'll be, pretty easy to accidentally go down too much too fast. And on the table saw on the back, you're going to see 7 boxes of different grits of sandpaper there. Well, at the time, it seemed like a good idea to buy it like that. And it was a lot cheaper to buy in bulk. So I did. And I guess I was thinking, well, I'll have a lifetime supply. But now when I realize how little I've used over the last, I guess 6 or 7 years or so since I've got those things, I guess now I'm thinking, what was I thinking? Right now I'm thinking that probably this video is going to be a little bit on the shorter side. There's only so much sanding I can show you, and there's only so much sanding I want to be bothered videoing. And it all looks the same, actually. The only way this video will be a little longer is if perhaps I get into the wipe on poly thing later. But I don't think we will. Well, you never know. We'll see how it goes. Right now, I don't know what's going to happen. I have gone over everything now, up to and including 400 grit, just the way you see it. Now, what I plan to do now is I'm going to take the hood off of the back, and there are a few little mistakes I made, and that is when I was sanding here, I allowed the sander to catch in the edge there. So this means that I'm going to have to reclamp these two pieces together in a mirror image and just slightly shorten this, maybe by only 1/8 of an inch or so, 1/4 of an inch. And we get rid of this little, what looks like a little nick here. Well, that's what it is, a little nick. And also, you can see quite clearly here where there's a distinct difference from where the sander, did its job, and down here where it hasn't. So I will have to round those over, but that should be fairly easy to do. Like I say, once I clamp them together in a mirror image and do them both at the same time. I did not do the bottom here, at least not yet. I'll do that separately after I take everything apart. Also, right here, I can actually feel the difference from here to here. So when I take the hood off, I'll probably just use 400 grit. The reason being is I don't want to accidentally take anything down too much too fast. But it came out quite well, even just at 400 grit. This is extremely smooth. It's going to look quite good once the wipe on poly is on it. Mind you, nobody's going to see the top anyway. However, I'll see it. Now, a little while ago, I had told myself I'm not going to do any more videoing until I get to the polyurethane. However, I wanted to show you what I'm going to try to do here in order to be able to sand up here, because this piece here used to go like that, so I couldn't get it in here, obviously. So this is my thinking now. This is a leftover stake from when I did my neighbor's garden stakes yesterday, and I'm thinking this will work. I haven't tried this yet, so I'm not sure. I don't see why it shouldn't. Okay, now the idea will be, I should have pre-adjusted my clamps, but I didn't. Okay, so the idea will be I can take my random orbital sander and get right up in here, and I don't need to worry about touching this edge. In other words, these edges, I don't want to have them go down even 1/100 hundredths of a millimeter, because right now they are sanded to perfect match for these pieces. So you know, if I take it down even just a little bit, there's going to be a bit of a crack showing there. Yeah, I think you see what I'm trying to do here. So I'm just going to go ahead and sand this. You've seen me sanding before. Okay, I've made a change here. I don't know why I have this need to be so incredibly honest all the time. You wouldn't have known the difference. Now, got a little bit of a dilemma going on here. I got to hurry up and make up my mind what I'm going to do. It's already after 11 in the morning. And my original plan was to do the wipe on poly thing with each piece individually and then later assemble it. And just this morning, when I was thinking about that, I thought, what if, when I'm putting the wipe on poly on, and I was planning on probably doing maybe 5 applications. I think that's what I did when I used it on my jumbo segmented bowl a couple of years ago. Yeah, let's say it builds up a little bit more here on this edge than it does, say, here. And then I mount this back on. Well, then it's going to be it's going to hold it away from the parts are going to be held apart. In other words, it's not going to look right. At least if you look up real close, which I probably will do. Yeah, so I'm thinking now I might be better off assembling everything and then applying the wipe on poly, even though it'd be a little bit more difficult. I gotta decide here. Like I say, it's already after 11 in the morning, and I did want to actually do a little bit. I probably won't put the dial board in place. I can always shove that in later. And I did go right up to 600 grit on this. It's just like glass. I know, you know, if I go like this, you can't feel it, but trust me, it's just like a piece of glass. And it is right here too. Yeah. Oh, I just realized I gotta go all around these sharp edges. Just ease them over a little bit. Okay, I better get at that. Yep, never ends. This is 600 grit. Now, the reason I reassembled everything here is, let's say for instance I'm going along this edge right here, okay? I don't want to be sanding this edge right here. So this way there's less of a chance. In other words, I can, well, I think you get the idea. And all I want to do is just ease over the sharp edge. And you can see by the sawdust coming off, that's what's happening. Okay, number three. Now these screws that I'm using are a lot bigger than the ones that are actually going to be in the clock, so I want to be careful here not to get too exuberant with my tightening. Now about 10-15 minutes ago, before I was going to shoot this scene, I thought to myself, now what lens am I going to want to use? And I thought, well, I'll stick on my wide angle lens. And so I put it on, stuck the camera back on the tripod there, and I looked down, and here, lo and behold, I've stuck my macro lens on. And I thought, well, that's funny. Now I know they're about the same size and they're both the same color, but to me there's distinct differences. And I'm thinking to myself, I must be getting tired, because that was pretty dumb. Anyway, speaking of getting tired, I know that it's, what is it here, 25 after 1. I probably got time to put a first coat of Wipe On Poly on. But I want to enjoy this, and I want to be able to take my time. And there's a sign over there, I probably can't read it, but it says, well, it's Murphy's Law. And Murphy's Law prevails down here in my workshop. So I guess you probably figured out the idea of these things is so that I can hang on to this and do the Wipe On Poly thing with my other hand and not get my fingers all sticky and fingerprints on there where they're not supposed to be. So that's what this is all about. And also I guess you can see that I've decided to go and do them individually. And I'm just going to have to be really careful that after I'm through with the wiping off the excess, that I make sure that I don't have any excess along the bottom edges here. I think it'll work out okay. This thing here, I've used this before for doing dial boards. It's really nice. You can just sort of hang on to it, and yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do about the back yet. I'll probably put one coat on the back itself and then maybe put screws up from the bottom to support it, or maybe I'll let it dry, and I'll just be putting one coat on the back anyway. Bottom line, that's it for today. Really, what does it matter? A year from now, does it matter if this thing is done in 5 days or 6 days, right? So, yeah. Thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.